Oh, the receipts I want to cash in right now, bro. The receipts do I want to cash in right now. So we on episode number 27, I believe, of the Optimistic Knicks fan, or Stoic Knicks fan. I keep saying optimistic. No longer the OKF. Go back to the SKF. Here we go. As you know, your boy's been riding through since last year, right? Making my stance, telling me what I believe out of the Knicks. You know, I was wrong on a few things. I was right on a few things, right? I'm thinking of one that I was wrong on, and that's that idea that Karl-Anthony Towns has to score 4 points in every quarter. I was wrong on that. He don't have to score 4 points, but he does have to do a lot to make his impact. And again, apologies to him, but I didn't realize he could pass the rock like that. I didn't realize that he could do things filling out the play. He's doing that. Shout out to the Knicks. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. Overcame a bad shooting night. Made the plays down the stretch. Wembanyama didn't make the plays down the stretch, but Wembanyama's impact was there all night. Karl-Anthony Towns was able to guard, stay out of foul trouble for the most part. OG stepped up. Josh Hart did what he did. The bench unit came in. They made positive impact. Shamit with the threes, still raining. Mikal Bridges played pretty good defense. I mean, we didn't hear much from Castle. We didn't hear much from Vassell. You know, a lot of things went on. And as I said, man, so the Knicks 12-game winning streak, the longest winning streak in the history of our franchise, and it's in the playoffs. So it won't even count. Like the Knicks, I think was it 9 or 10. I know when we were going for win number 10 against OKC, I believe one of the teams. Last year was against OKC. This year was against Detroit. I do believe the Knicks were looking to tie or get the record for longest win streak by a New York Knicks team, right? But they have a 12-game win streak now in the playoffs. And there's nothing else you can say, guys. You're running out of excuses, Knicks haters. You're running out of excuses. You can no longer do it. You can no longer run to the competition argument. You can no longer run to there's no, Wemby is this. You can't do it. You can't do it, haters. You can't do it, prognosticators and detractors. You can no longer do it. It's no longer valid. It's not a valid thing. Cino, stop it. You don't believe the shit that you're saying out of your mouth. Or maybe you do, and that's the problem. But you got your blood pressure up, brother. You got your blood pressure up. You need to chill, bro. You showed us the breathing last night, and it was pretty, high, but not, You said you had a 180 episode last week. You need to chill. Accept it. The Knicks are that good. The Knicks are that good. And what's unlocking it? We can argue. You want to say Mike Brown is not doing it? It's the players, it's Brunson. Look, there's always one factor. But this is a team sport. And in this team sport, you have to account for everything. Everybody's needed. That's the thing. I try to explain on TikTok today. And people they're not getting it. They want to give one guy credit so much that they don't seem to understand that the Knicks are locked in with everybody. And I've always said this. A roster needs 15 guys in the NBA. The current NBA, you need 15 guys. You cannot have bullshit on your roster. You can't have guys stealing paychecks on your roster if you want to be a championship team. You can't have bullshit on your roster if you want to be even a contending team. Because everything needs, it's a long season, it's long playoffs, injuries happen, right? Even OKC, as deep as they were, we saw that injuries could affect them. They didn't have A.J. Mitchell. All of a sudden, again, another second-round pick, another late first-round pick. those injuries took a lot out of them, and they were susceptible to be beaten. It's a next man up mentality. Jalen Brunson last night went to the locker room twice. Doris Burke, it doesn't look good. Da, 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 da. You saw some of the comments, man. I was live streaming with Zay. You saw the comments. Guys were like celebrating. You wanna win like that? You want to win with a Brunson injury. Now let's go. Let's say something happened to Wemby. Oh yeah. See, it was. Look, this is why I say a 15-man roster is important. The Spurs are clearly a different team. That's why I believe Wemby is the MVP. Even when he's not doing it on offense, he was the MVP. But I sit there and I watch all these preseason prognostications. I watch all of this crap. It's a complete crap. I watch all these guys say the Knicks it's not about Trae Young and none of that. All of the nonsense. You're no longer relevant. All that bullshit is not relevant. The Knicks right now are the best team in basketball. It's not. Look, they're the healthiest team. That's by design. Thank you, Thibodeau. You see, again, I go back to saying I love what Thibodeau brought to the Knicks. I love the foundation he laid. But it's time to get somebody else to finish the job because he's not good at putting the roof on. He's good at laying foundations. He's good at getting the house foundation strong. But he can't put the finishing touches on it. It's just the way it is, especially in the modern NBA. No, I don't think the Knicks will be doing as well with Thibodeau. The Knicks are being coached. The details are being, when something when something goes wrong or doesn't work, they go to the next plan. Those are the things that Mike Brown is bringing. Mike Brown has coached different styles, different ways. Thibodeau's coached one way. It's an antiquated way. I'm not, and the thing is, this is why I'm talking about Thibodeau. It's the fact that Thibodeau brought out the conditioning. There's a conditioning in today's player that's lacking, where they the first sign is something Uchi-Awi, they go running. They don't want to play anymore. They're trying to preserve something. Jalen Brunson is a tank. I've seen him tweak that ankle, and as long as he's walking, that's the thing about a guy that doesn't need athleticism. He doesn't rely on jumping out of the gym. He relies on his step. He relies on his foot placement. He relies on fundamentals. So as long as he can walk and get his little slow burst speeds, he's not the fastest guy in the world. So he doesn't need to be 100% to cook. And last night he did that. He did it when it mattered. He cooked. Again, it's time to understand. That's why I talk about the 15 men in your roster. The playoffs is a war of attrition. A lot of the times, it might not be the best team. Maybe OKC can say they were the best team this year. They weren't the most healthy team, and health is part of the quality factor now. You can't tell me, well, if we were healthy, if you're not healthy. It's your job to be healthy. They don't do a redo in the playoffs. They don't do redos in the playoffs. You guys get that, right? There are no redos. There are no if this happened. If this happened or if this so-and-so, that's the most useless form of conversation. How many times must I say it? If the playoffs are now, J-Dub was not healthy. He had a hamstring injury. Those are tricky. Trust me, OG Anunoby. 2 years ago, I think we beat the Pacers if we have OG Anunoby. Now, people will sit there and talk about J-Dub. Well, J-Dub is better than OG Anunoby. Is he better defensively? That's arguable. But all I know is OG Anunoby was very important in what we did. That year we traded for him, We went on another one of our win streaks because we got them. First thing we did, I remember when my son was born, we beat the hell out of the Philadelphia 76ers that night with Joel Embiid in the lineup. Funny how that works, right? Foreshadow a 4-game series against Philadelphia 76ers. Now all of a sudden, Philly ain't that good. Funny how the goalpost moves. y'all gonna move them goalposts. That's why I'm ready to collect receipts. That's why this is about collecting receipts. Because one thing, I don't walk away from anything I say. And there's a lot of cats that do. They walk right away. They walk scotch clean away from what they say. They don't stand behind it. I don't respect people who don't stand behind their words. Spurs in 5. Nothing was based on no analysis. Because if they were going to win in 5, they would not have lost last night again if they controlled most of the game. Like, that shit is out. You can still believe. Tell me that you believe, okay, the Knicks came to play. We're going to have a series. Nope. You got idiots standing on bullshit, dying on the Knicks will be lucky to get one. So that was our one? Spurs dominated that game. You don't lose a game that you dominate and think, or they didn't really dominate, but they controlled it. You know, again, that confirmation bias when you got the 14-point lead, only you don't seem to understand. And they lost that 14-point lead by the end of the third quarter. That's when I knew. And it was really up to the Knicks to outplay them in the fourth quarter, and they did just that. They outplayed the young, more inexperienced, less poised team. The Knicks had 8 turnovers last night. Spurs are one of the greatest teams in creating turnovers. The Knicks had 8. Jalen Brunson, 30 points, an inefficient 30 points. But when you look down it, it's like the Kobe game, right? It's like the 6 of 24 Kobe game. Did he make the plays when they were necessary? That's what matters. That's what matters. You can sit there and say Kobe didn't have a clean, dominant game. That's cool, but he won. Yeah, somebody must have picked him up. You're right. Ron Artest picked him up the first 3 quarters. Kobe did not go into a bag in the fourth quarter. Wembanyama did. And I'm not, again, I think the world of Wembanyama. I think he's great. But y'all got to slow down because y'all setting this young man up for failure. Y'all setting this young man up for failure. 6 for 21 last night. 26 points. 6 shots. I'm not just quoting a stat line just to quote a stat line. There's a reason and there's a thought process behind it. You see that he wasn't exactly the most efficient player, right? I don't like the word efficiency, but he didn't make plays. He didn't show the dominance that you all laud him for. He didn't show it. It wasn't there. It was there defensively, yes. Defensively, he's going to make a lot of, but once you figure out where he is, where he's going to be, where to draw him out to, it's going to be an issue. They're going to have to pick him, again, when it comes down to the Knicks, and that's what I say, it's a matter of pick your poison. Nobody wants to let me say this. When I have these conversations, when I say it's a matter of pick your poison, and when I speak of well, who did y'all play? It don't matter. We played NBA teams. Too many Knicks are cooking for the entire playoffs. The stupidity is out there, guys. Y'all gotta stop it. But okay, Friday night. Okay, see, San Antonio better win. I got the Knicks probably winning in 4, winning by 4, and maybe San Antonio takes one of the Gardens. Maybe they take the game 4 in the Garden. I think the Knicks come back and clean it up in game 5. Oh, I'm confident. Everybody thought I was crazy for saying Knicks in 5. Well, not everybody, because other people say Knicks in 5. But those who are being fed bad information and not making their predictions or their prognostications on for basketball reasons, they're relying on some bullshit tropes like the East was weak. That's where you're struggling. That's where you'll struggle to understand what is happening. You won't get what is going on right now. The Knicks have won 12 straight games and 11 by double digits. That's never been done in the history of the fucking sport. Playoffs or regular season. And the Knicks are doing that to the playoff. That means no matter what you think of the teams we're playing, we're consistently winning games in convincing fashion. No matter what you think of the teams. This ain't no 12-game stretch where you're playing against every team that's trying to tank for the fucking lottery. You know, you had a record number of bad, horrible teams this year. And even the Knicks did as well. I'll admit it. They ate up a part of the schedule where the competition was easy. But this is the playoffs. Every team you're playing is above 500. So what the Knicks are doing has never been done. That 12-game winning streak with 11 by double digits has never been done in the history of the fucking sport. Never. One game by 6 points, and that game didn't have Joel Embiid. The Philly that y'all all say, now all of a sudden y'all say it sucks? Y'all thought Philly was a top 4 team in the East. They beat the Boston Celtics, the team that y'all had favored. And we swept them. We came in game 1, won by 30-something. By game 4, we're winning by 33. By game 4, we winning by 33. I'm sorry, it was 37, 40? I can't even count. I can't even keep count no more. Oh, there will be a convincing Knicks victory. I have a lot of respect for the San Antonio young roster. But they don't have the polished players. They just don't. Harper's terrific. Not the quickest, not the best ball handler, but knows how to get where he wants to get on a basketball court. He's not enough. Champagny, great play, great first half last night. 15, you expect him to score 15 points again? He went from 20 in his last game to 15 in game 1. You expect that to happen? It's just a matter of closing out on him. Because he had 36 against the Knicks on New Year's Eve. By March 1st, he has 2 months later, he has 3 points in that game. Last night he had 15. So almost 3 months to the day from the last game. The Knicks are gonna figure him out. I mean, it's not even his fifth option. Just make sure you close out on him. A lot of it. Fox, unfortunately, is injured. I don't think he has a good series even if he's healthy. It just makes it that easy to guard him with the injury, but they need him. They absolutely need him because he's the one true point guard on the roster. See, this is the thing, right? When Jalen Brunson went down last night, the Knicks had another true point guard coming off the bench. Then they had another true point guard behind him. Now, Alvarado, I was confident in. Kolek, bruh, if the Knicks got to rely on Kolek to run, at least we have a point guard. I don't know that San Antonio has another true point guard on the roster. And Fox is injured. That's gonna take effect. That's gonna matter. That's gonna mean something in this series. That's gonna play it out. That's gonna play out. The Fox injury, the Fox situation, part of the game. Part of the game when you go 7 games. When you go 6 games with Minnesota. I'm sorry, yeah, it was Minnesota they won 6 games with. Part of the game. The Knicks earned their rest. They're well rested. more locked in. Most of their players are playing better. I mean, God, like, much as I tried to say this, nobody was trying to hear it. Just want to hear that the West is deeper. The West was better. Who gives a fuck? Because if that means okay, then that means you had a more rugged. That means you had a more rugged path to get here. You didn't lap your competition like the Knicks did in the East. And again, I can sit there and tell you the East was just as good as the West. There's many stats to prove it. There's many win-loss record totals and statistics to prove it. But it doesn't matter. The Knicks lapped their competition. The Spurs they lost 6 games in the Western Conference playoffs. They're now 12-7. The Knicks are 13-2. Go back to the regular season. The Knicks have objectively played better in the playoffs. And you can chalk it up to competition all you want. Most of you motherfuckers can't name 5 guys off the Minnesota Timberwolves. Most of you guys can't name 5 guys off the goddamn Portland Trailblazers. Last year, you couldn't name 5 guys off of OKC Thunder. But now all of a sudden, you want to tell me, you want to judge me how great teams are. Okay. I love when people tell me shit that I already predicted. And this opposite of what I predicted. And then what I predict comes to fruition. Most of the time. Not all the time. Most of the time. Well, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Knicks in 5, guys. Knicks in 5.